There is nothing better than starting off the spring season with new colors of paint, and I am so excited to share 5 different colors of the new JRV Cottage Colors by Debbie's DIY Paint. I'm Lynn from L&J Goods. I'm so happy you've joined me here to see how I make over these metal toolboxes with the new JRV Cottage Colors. Today, I grabbed every old toolbox that I could find and got them all prepped and ready to go. Now let's paint. This is garden sage, and we have honey. There is plaster, azure. I think this is my favorite, veranda. So now I'm going to decide which of these toolboxes I want to put this paint on. So here's what I decided. Now, all of these have been prepped. Most toolboxes are a dark color. So this is going to be a little bit of a challenge. I'm confident that I can get really good coverage with these JRV Cottage Colors. These are my favorite paints for using on metal or any challenging surface. When you first open your jar of paint, you may notice that there is a little bit of separation of the ingredients. Go ahead and give this a really good stir. All of the things that make the cottage color paint so durable and long lasting is those magical ingredients that are in this jar. So you just want to be sure that you have stirred and blended completely. And we're going to put honey back on this little metal tote because the color once was yellow. So let's see how it goes. Use any good quality soft brush. What you'll notice is as you are applying that first coat, you are not going to get complete coverage. In fact, it may look a bit transparent, but that's okay. This is just the base coat. And remember that if you are painting a light paint over a dark surface, you're going to need probably additional coats. But this is going to act as a base coat once it dries, and you'll see how much coverage we get with the second coat. I went ahead and gave a base coat to all the rest of my toolboxes. I prepped these using a spray shellac, hoping to seal in any of the rust, but honestly, my vibe is rusty, crusty, vintage, and aged, so I really don't mind if I have a little bit of rust that shows through. JR had taken these over to the workshop to sand away any excess rust that he could. And then I gave them a spray with a Rust-Oleum spray paint that I happened to have in the basement. It was black. I'll talk about how I should have done things a little bit differently later on. One of the reasons that I absolutely love these JRV Cottage Colors is it takes minimal prep, even for tricky surfaces. And it's self-leveling. It is extremely hard and durable. I love how it works on metal. Now, what should I have done differently? I probably shouldn't have spray painted these with a black Rust-Oleum. I should have stuck to a color that is closer to the color of the JRV Cottage Color. I also could have given this a first coat of a Debbie's DIY clay-based chalk paint as a first coat, allowed that to dry for 24 hours, and then gone over it with the cottage color. Lesson learned, so that's why you're seeing that I have to apply 3 coats, and in the case of the yellow and this azure blue, I had to actually add a 4th coat in some places because these pigments tend to be a little bit more transparent when you apply them over dark colors. But I did want to inhibit any of that rust from returning, and I used what I had on hand. Not only are these cottage colors beautiful, they are extremely durable. Once they dry completely and cure, they literally cannot be scratched off with your thumbnail. I also love that the JRV Cottage colors are self-leveling. You get a smooth, beautiful finish on your piece, but it's easily distressed with sandpaper. So I went ahead and roughed up a few of those edges to give them that worn and vintage look that I like. JRV Cottage Colors and IOD transfers are a perfect partnership because the Cottage Colors have a built-in finish. The IOD transfers go on effortlessly. I'm using the Lost Garden transfer from IOD and a few of the gilded transfer pieces and a few random scraps of typography from some other IOD transfers. So I've cut apart the transfers and then I do a dry fit, taping them in place so that I know which transfers go with which toolbox. And then I'll just begin to put them all together. You'll see how this Lost Garden transfer looks so beautiful and so different on each of the different cottage colors. Thank you so much for hanging out with us here today at L&J Goods for this exciting new color launch for the JRV Cottage Colors paints. We love these products and are so excited that we were invited to be a part of this very special launch. There is a playlist in the description box below where you can find other creatives who have done projects with the JRV Cottage Colors. While you're here today, would you do us a big favor? We would love it if you could support our YouTube channel by liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell so you don't miss our next project ideas. If you're on Facebook, we've got a free membership group on Facebook, the L&J Goods Insider, where we share wonderful projects, some insider tips, and lots of other creatives who share their inspiration and project ideas as well.
Sometimes we act like a fool, not aware we're troublemakers. Sometimes we try to be cool, not being givers, only takers. Stop for a minute, stop and breathe for a minute. Don't get over your head, try to listen instead, won't you? Think for a minute.
This toolbox was in really rough shape, and I decided that I'm going to keep this one for myself. Since JR had to pound out some of the lumps and bumps that are in it, but I still love it, and I am going to use the color Azure on this. And then you'll notice that the Lost Garden transfer, because it's an overall pattern, really hides a lot of the flaws. But then we need to really glam this up, even though she's lumpy and bumpy. And so I added IOD's Petite Ornament Gilded Transfer. I love the effect of this. The colors are beautiful together. Of course, when all of your transfers have been applied, you want to burnish them by rubbing over the surface with one of the carrier sheets from the transfers. This is going to ensure complete adhesion. Then I'm going to seal the transfers in place with a coat of Debbie's DIY Big Top. It'll leave a beautiful satiny finish and protect all of those transfers. Now all I have left to do is paint the bottoms, line the insides with either your favorite paper or paint. So there you have it, 5 incredible new JRV Cottage Colors on 5 different metal toolboxes. We have linked all of the products that we've used in the description box below. You can find them at lnjgoods.com or our brick and mortar shop in Medina, New York.